Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here, and in today's video we're going to talk about TTK or time to kill. But before I start off the video, if you enjoy it, hitting the like button really helps out the channel, and you could even maybe consider subscribing. But without further ado, let's jump straight into this. So a really basic time to kill formula would look something like this. You would divide 60 seconds by the rate of fire of the weapon you are trying to calculate the time to kill for, multiply that by the bullets it takes to kill, minus 1. The minus 1 is to take into account the fact that the first shot is going to hit the target instantaneously when we're talking about hit scan weapons. So hit scan means that the weapon or the bullet of the weapon has no travel time. So as soon as you click it, it's on target, and that's it. Now, for sake of simplicity, we're not going to take the bullet velocity into account here. We're going to just do a theoretical calculation of the time to kill if you are really close to your enemy, in which case the velocity variable would have such a little difference on the time to kill that it's not really worth mentioning. Alright, so if we take the stats of the Volt SMG for example, so the Volt SMG is the new weapon that was added in Season 6 of Apex Legends. It has a rate of fire of 783 and it does 16 damage per shot to the body. Alright, so if we take these numbers and use them to calculate a couple of different body shield examples to calculate the time to kill it would take, for example, somebody with no armor. So somebody with no armor can have a maximum of 100 HP. Now if we divide that by 16 damage per shot to find out the number of bullets it takes to kill somebody, we would get 6.25 bullets to kill. Now of course we need to round this up because you can't shoot a quarter of a bullet, so we get 7 bullets to kill. Now if we have somebody that has, for example, purple armor in Season 6, so purple / gold armor, it would give us 75 armor points plus 100 HP for a total of essentially 175 HP. Now divide that by 16 damage per shot, it would give us 10.93 bullets to kill. Again, we need to round up because we can't shoot 0.93 bullets, so 11 BTK. Now if we get somebody with red Evo armor, you would have 100 AP plus 100 HP for 200 HP divided by 16 damage per shot would give us 12.5 BTK, so 13 BTK rounded up. And then finally, if we calculate for the red Evo pre-Season 6, which gave us 125 AP plus 100 HP for a total of 225 HP, divide that by 16 damage per shot, and that would give us 15 BTK, or actually 14.06 BTK, rounded up to 15 BTK. So if we take, for example, the no armor value, if we put that in the time to kill formula, we would get 60 seconds divided by the 783 rate of fire, multiply that by the bullets to kill, so 7 minus 1, for a total time to kill of 459.7 milliseconds. For the purple / gold shield, we'll do the calculation again. 60 seconds divided by 703 rate of fire times the 11 bullets to kill minus the 1 would give us a 766.2 millisecond raw TTK. Now for the red Evo, it would be 919.5 milliseconds, and for the red Evo pre-Season 6, it would give us 1007.3 milliseconds or 1.07 seconds to kill. Now, I think one of the reasons that people feel like it's such a drastic change to have only Evo armor for one is the fact that in previous seasons you had the choice to pick an Evo shield or a regular shield, and if you picked a regular shield, I mean, the level shield you picked up is what you were gonna get. You didn't have to work to level it up. That allowed you to get more HP. If you picked up a purple body shield, it gave you 100 armor points right off the bat. You didn't work. You need to work to get it up to 100 armor points value. It was just there. Now you don't have the choice. If you want to get to the maximum of 200 HP, you need to work to get your purple armor, if you're lucky enough to find a purple armor, up to the red Evo. If not, you have to work your way from white or none to white to blue to purple to red. As in previous seasons, you had the choice. You know, people that dropped hot, if they found an Evo shield, would generally stick with the Evo shield because they had the potential to do a lot of damage early game and then level that armor up all the way up to red, which would give them 125 armor points plus 100 HP for a total of 225 HP, which would give them a slight edge over their enemies, an extra 25 armor points to deal with. And then people who maybe didn't drop hot, maybe they wouldn't take an Evo shield because they wouldn't deal enough damage in that game to level it up from level 1 all the way up to red, which is level 5. So they might, you know, opt for a purple body armor, which they didn't need to level, but would only give them 100 AP points, so 200 HP total, which was, you know, good enough. They could be competitive with that. But now all of the armor is Evo, and all of the armor levels have been reduced in armor points offered. So in previous seasons, a white armor would give you 50 armor points, a blue armor 75, and a purple/gold armor would give you 100 armor points. Now, a white Evo gives you 25 armor points, a blue gives you 50 armor points, purple gives you 75 armor points, and the maximum that you can have is 100 armor points from the red Evo, which requires a pretty substantial amount of damage to get from purple to red. So to get from purple to red, it is required that you get 500 damage to level it up, which is a lot of damage for a lot of people. I know a lot of people that don't get that much damage in a game, and I can understand how you can feel a little bit underwhelmed when you get into the final fights if you didn't have a chance to pick a lot of fights with people, how you could be at a disadvantage against people who did get into a lot of fights and have that extra 25 armor points to deal with. So I think that is one of the reasons why a lot of people feel like the time to kill is much faster in Season 6, is because you can't find a body shield that gives you 100 AP right off the bat. You have to work for it, and if you don't get into a lot of fights, you're not going to have a chance to level it up to get the maximum amount of HP you can get. So I think one of the things they could do is reduce maybe the amount of damage required to get from purple to red. I think that would alleviate the issues that a lot of people are experiencing and how they feel like they're getting one shot or just lasered really quickly late game if they didn't get into a lot of fights. It would make the playing field a little bit more leveled for people who don't get into a lot of fights. But I do think that changing the armor system from what they had before to everybody gets an Evo shield reduces a little bit the RNG factor of, you know, not finding body armor early game. You always have body armor on you no matter what. It's just that you might be lucky enough to find a body armor that's already pre-leveled up for you. And considering that the average reaction time of a human is 250 milliseconds to a visual stimulus when in optimal conditions, okay, in Apex Legends a ton of things can be happening and your reaction time might go all the way up to 400 milliseconds. That is a difference of, you know, time to kill of, you know, what, 160-ish milliseconds maybe isn't that big of a difference for a lot of people. Unless you're really a top player, then that can be the difference between you dying or you having a chance to get to cover if you have a really fast reaction time, which is the case for a lot of the top tier players, which is why they might feel as though they're getting, you know, killed unfairly and so much quicker than in previous seasons, because in previous seasons they would have had a chance to get away from whoever was shooting at them. And I think that now with the armor changes, you have to really have good positioning, because if you're caught out of position and off guard, chances are you're probably not going to have time to get the cover in order to heal, especially if you have lower versions of the Evo armor. So that pretty much does it for the TTK video. I really wanted to give you guys the calculation on how to calculate, you know, the raw TTK for weapons. Now, a lot of things can change the TTK if you're getting headshots, if you're getting leg shots, body shots, if you're getting misses, if you have the skull piercer, if people have different helmets, the ping between the client and the player, the ping between the two players, desync, tick rate, all these different things can affect the time to kill of a weapon. So do keep that in mind. The calculations that I did here are as an example in a really raw TTK, because some weapons do have damage drop off, like the SMGs don't don't deal headshot damage past 37.5 meters. So there's all these different things, but it does give you a good idea of what TTK is, what it means, how you can calculate it, and why you feel as though you're getting maybe killed a lot faster in this season as opposed to previous seasons. But anyways, let me know in the comment section down below if you feel the TTK is too fast, do you feel it's okay, are you slowly adapting to it? And yeah, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thank you very much for watching, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.